Number 15. The Levitating Girl. In the depths of the Russian wilderness, an eerie phenomenon was captured on video, quickly going viral and becoming the subject of significant online debate. This enigmatic footage, titled "Flying Girl in Russian Woods," was uploaded to YouTube in 2009 and quickly became a sensation. The video, just over a minute long, depicts a scene that defies logic and invites a myriad of interpretations. The video begins with an ordinary setting, a man and his dog walking through a snow-covered forest. The tranquility of the scene is abruptly disrupted when the camera captures a startling sight. In the distance, a young girl appears to be levitating several feet above the ground, while an adult, possibly her mother, stands nearby. The girl hovers effortlessly in the air for a few moments before descending gently to the ground. Startled, the cameraman reacts audibly, and the adult figure quickly takes the girl's hand, leading her away as they disappear into the woods. The video's description adds a layer of mystery, stating, "I have recorded this video while going for a long walk with my dog. I can't explain myself what was happened there. I was very surprised. I didn't expect to meet anyone, because it was in a field wood." The uploader, Jevgenij2000, never posted another video after this, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. The comments section of the video became a hotbed of speculation and theories. Some users suggested that the video was an elaborate hoax, using clever editing or hidden wires to create the illusion of flight. Skeptics pointed to the poor video quality and the shaky camera work as evidence that the footage could easily be manipulated. One commenter remarked, "This looks like a low-budget special effect. The way the girl moves up and down seems too smooth and controlled, like she's on a wire." Others, however, believed that the video captured something genuinely paranormal. The notion of a child with the ability to levitate struck a chord with those who have an interest in supernatural phenomena. "I've read about children with psychic abilities," one commenter wrote. "This could be an example of telekinesis or some other psi phenomenon. The idea that the girl may be an example of someone who possesses supernatural powers, potentially related to telekinesis, remains a compelling theory for many viewers." Theories about psi phenomenon, which include telekinesis, telepathy, and other extrasensory perceptions, have long fascinated both scientists and enthusiasts. Psi phenomena suggest the existence of abilities that transcend the normal and currently understood limits of human experience and understanding. Telekinesis in particular refers to the ability to move objects or influence physical systems without physical interaction. While mainstream science remains skeptical due to the lack of empirical evidence, anecdotal reports and some experimental studies have kept the possibility alive in popular culture. In addition to the more mundane and supernatural explanations, some viewers proposed otherworldly theories. "This could be an alien encounter," suggested one commenter. "What if the girl isn't human, or the woman with her isn't her mother? Maybe they're visitors from another world, and we're seeing their technology at work." Such theories, while far-fetched to some, effectively highlight the video's ability to ignite the imagination and curiosity of its audience. The mystery deepens with the fact that the YouTube channel that posted the video never uploaded any other content. This absence of follow-up led to further speculation. Why did the uploader remain silent after sharing such a sensational video? Some theorized that the uploader might have been warned or threatened to stay silent, while others believed the entire account was a one-time gimmick designed to create viral content. One particularly conspiratorial comment read, "Maybe they were silenced by authorities or the people involved. It's strange that they never posted anything again." Despite the passage of time, the Flying Girl in Russian Woods video remains an unsolved mystery. It stands as a testament to the enduring human fascination with the unknown and the unexplained. Theories continue to circulate, and the video is periodically rediscovered by new audiences, each adding their own interpretations and questions to the lore. Number 14. The Australian Skinwalker. In the remote expanses of the Australian outback, a chilling encounter with a mysterious creature might not seem out of the ordinary to those familiar with the legends and lore of the area. This particular eerie event was documented in a video posted online, in which a pale, humanoid figure was recorded moving through the rugged landscape. The video quickly went viral, with accompanying discussions running rampant alongside reposts and shares. The footage, originally shared on a YouTube channel, shows a gaunt humanoid figure with an unnaturally pale complexion and elongated limbs. The creature appears to move with a hauntingly smooth gait, blending eerily into the desolate backdrop of the outback. The sheer strangeness of the figure has led many to theorize about its origins and nature, with suggestions ranging from the paranormal to the cryptozoological. One of the most prevalent theories is that the creature could be a skinwalker, a shape-shifting entity from Navajo folklore. Skinwalkers are said to be magic users who can transform into animals or other humans, often using their abilities for malevolent purposes. The idea of a skinwalker wandering the Australian outback, however, raises questions about cultural and geographical discrepancies, as skinwalker legends are traditionally tied to Native American cultures. An alternative explanation draws parallels with the Wendigo, another malevolent spirit from Native American lore, this one associated with Algonquin folklore in North America. The Wendigo is often described as a tall, emaciated figure with a hunger for human flesh, symbolizing insatiable greed and the consequences of cannibalism. The Wendigo's appearance shares some similarities with the creature in the video, particularly its gaunt, ghostly features. However, like the skinwalker theory, the Wendigo's roots in North American legend make its presence in Australia unlikely. Skeptics argue that the figure could simply be a human or an animal suffering from a severe medical condition, such as malnutrition or a skin disease. The outback is vast and sparsely populated, and the harsh environment can lead to extreme physical conditions for both humans and wildlife. The figure's odd movements and appearance might be the result of illness or injury, rather than something supernatural. Another theory suggests that the video could be a hoax or a piece of performance art. The internet is rife with examples of fabricated paranormal encounters designed to captivate and scare viewers, as well as rack up views. The quality of the footage, the lack of additional context, and the absence of the original poster from subsequent discussions lend some credence to this possibility. It's not uncommon for viral videos to be staged for shock value, only for the creators to remain anonymous to maintain the mystery. The fact that the original poster never returned to the channel after uploading the video adds to the intrigue. This absence has fueled speculation about the authenticity of the footage and the potential dangers the poster might have faced. Did they encounter the creature again? Were they silenced by some unknown force? Or did they simply retreat from the online world to avoid the spotlight and potential backlash? The video of the pale humanoid creature in the Australian outback remains an unsolved mystery, destined to be discovered and rediscovered by those diving into paranormal online spheres. Theories about its identity and origin range from the folkloric to the scientific, each with its own set of intriguing possibilities and implications. Whether a skinwalker, a Wendigo, a severely ill person, or an elaborate hoax, the creature will continue to haunt the digital landscape. Number 13. The Homesteading Channel Old Man. In the realm of online mysteries, few videos have captured the imagination and sparked debate as intensely as the footage released by the YouTube channel Homesteading Off the Grid. This particular video, titled Mysterious Creature Spotted in the Woods, depicts a shadowy figure moving through a forested area, its appearance and movements raising questions about its true nature. The channel, known for its content about living sustainably off-grid, but with occasional eerie stories about ghosts and other unexplained phenomena, added yet another layer of intrigue to its repertoire with this entry. The video begins innocuously enough, showing a tranquil, wooded setting, typical of the content posted by Homesteading Off the Grid. However, as the camera pans, a figure clutching what looks to be red cloth becomes visible. The figure's movements are deliberate, yet unnaturally smooth, and its form is difficult to discern, adding to the unsettling nature of the sighting. The creature appears to be wearing some kind of hat, with what looks to be a Santa-like beard, and you could even argue, jeans. Many viewers and skeptics alike have suggested that the video is a hoax, a piece of carefully crafted content designed to draw attention and views to the channel. Given the nature of Homesteading Off the Grid's other videos, which often delve into the supernatural and paranormal, this theory holds considerable weight. The channel has previously posted videos purporting to show ghosts, UFOs, and alien encounters, all of which have been met with similar skepticism. Critics argue that the figure in the video could easily be a person in a costume. The eerie movements and indistinct form of the figure might be achieved through simple video editing techniques or practical effects. The timing of the sighting, coinciding with the camera's deliberate panning, also suggests a staged event rather than a spontaneous encounter. Eventually, the comments on the video were turned off. The homesteading context of the channel adds another layer of intrigue. The secluded rural setting depicted in the video is ideal for encounters with the unexplained, away from the prying eyes of urban environments. This isolation not only enhances the eerie atmosphere of the videos, but also makes it harder to identify the authenticity of the sightings. The possibility of the figure being a person experiencing a moment of crisis, such as a lost hiker or someone with mental health issues, has also been raised. This theory, while more grounded, adds a tragic dimension to the mystery, suggesting that the figure might be someone in need of help, rather than being a subject of fascination or fear. Despite the numerous theories and debates, the true nature of the figure in the video remains unresolved. The channel's lack of follow-up or additional context only deepens the mystery, leaving viewers to draw their own conclusions. Whether a hoax, a cryptid, or something else entirely, the mysterious figure captured by homesteading off the grid continues to captivate and perplex viewers, who continue to debate and dissect this example of the unexplained. While the likelihood of the video being a hoax is high, given the channel's history and the ease with which such footage can be fabricated, the allure of the unknown ensures that the mystery will persist. The video adds to the growing collection of purportedly unexplained phenomena documented online, feeding the public's fascination with the supernatural, the mysterious, and the unknown. Number 12. The Wyoming Ghoul. In the tranquil expanses of the mountainous state of Wyoming, an unsettling mystery has emerged. It began in the spring of 2023 with a simple, bureaucratic act meant to address a routine concern. Evanston Police Chief John Kirby decided to set up a trail camera near the Bear River Greenway. The goal was straightforward: to monitor for mountain lions that had been reported in the area. But what he captured would ignite a frenzy of speculation, fear, and curiosity that rippled far beyond the small town. On April 13, 2023, Chief Kirby installed the camera in a secluded area of the Greenway, hoping to catch evidence of the elusive and fascinating big cats. For days, the camera silently recorded the comings and goings of local wildlife: deer, raccoons, and the occasional fox. However, what it captured on the night of April 16th would send chills down his spine and those of everyone who saw the footage. When Kirby reviewed the footage on April 18th, he was taken aback by what he saw. Among the ordinary clips of animals, one stood out starkly. There, moving slowly through the darkness, was a figure, pale, gaunt, and unnervingly skeletal. The figure's clothes were tattered, its face mask-like, and its eyes appeared sunken and hollow. It seemed to wander aimlessly, an eerie and ghostly presence that looked like it had stepped out of a nightmare. The image was disturbing enough to prompt immediate concern. Kirby shared the footage with his colleagues at the Evanston Police Department, who were equally alarmed. Despite efforts to rationalize the image as a person in distress, or perhaps someone playing a prank, the unsettling nature of the figure defied easy explanation. Kirby decided to share the footage with the community, hoping someone might recognize the figure or offer a reasonable explanation. On April 20th, 2023, the local news picked up the story, broadcasting the eerie footage and dubbing the figure the Wyoming Ghoul. The reaction was immediate and intense. Social media platforms exploded with speculation, and the footage quickly went viral. People across the state and beyond were captivated by the ghastly figure wandering the Wyoming woods. Headlines like "Terrifying Ghoul Caught on Police Trail Camera" and "Disturbing Subject Captured on Trail Cam in Wyoming" captured the public's imagination, and the Bear River Greenway became a focal point for ghost hunters and thrill seekers. Theories about the ghoul's identity and origins proliferated. Some speculated it was a homeless person or a hermit living off the grid, whose appearance had deteriorated due to isolation and lack of resources. Others believed it was something more sinister, a ghost or an apparition from a bygone era, doomed to wander the forests. There were even whispers of dark rituals and ancient curses. A local paranormal enthusiast group, intrigued by the footage, conducted an overnight vigil near the site of the sighting. They reported hearing strange noises and feeling an unsettling presence, but captured no definitive evidence. Their findings only added to the aura of mystery and fear. As the days passed, the pressure on Chief Kirby and his team to solve the mystery intensified. The Evanston Police Department increased patrols in the area and set up additional trail cameras, hoping to catch another glimpse of the ghoul. Despite these efforts, the figure did not reappear, and the lack of new evidence deepened the enigma. On May 1st, 2023, in an effort to manage the growing hysteria, Chief Kirby decided to address the public directly. He called a town meeting and, with a heavy heart, revealed the truth behind the mysterious figure. The ghoul, he explained, was not a ghost, a vagrant, or a creature from the underworld. It was, in fact, him, Chief John Kirby, dressed in a Halloween costume, attempting to play a lighthearted prank. The footage that had sparked so much fear and speculation was a result of Kirby's own mischief. On the night of April 16th, he had donned a costume and wandered in front of the trail camera, intending to inject some humor into the routine task of monitoring wildlife. He had not anticipated the reaction it would provoke, or the extent to which the story would spread. The revelation was met with a mix of relief and amusement. Some residents were upset at being deceived, but many appreciated the humor and the excitement it had brought to their otherwise quiet lives. The story of the Wyoming ghoul transitioned from a tale of fear to one of humor and community spirit. Chief Kirby apologized for any distress caused and assured everyone that there was no real threat lurking in the woods. The story of the Wyoming ghoul became a humorous anecdote, shared in local bars and family gatherings, a testament to the power of imagination and the speed at which fear can spread in the digital age. The Bear River Greenway returned to its peaceful state, but the legend of the Wyoming ghoul is still repeated to this day. Number 11. The Screaming Man. In 2012, a chilling image captured in northern Pennsylvania ignited fear, fascination, and an array of eerie theories. Known as the Screaming Man photo, this unsettling image portrays a strange humanoid figure squatting or sitting among the trees, seemingly laughing or smiling. The photograph, taken by a trail camera, also shows a deer standing nearby, appearing mostly unaffected by the presence of this mysterious entity. The photograph first surfaced online, quickly gaining attention for its bizarre and haunting nature. The image depicts the figure in a distorted posture, its face contorted into what some interpret as a sinister grin. The surrounding forest is bathed in the typical eerie light of a trail camera, adding to the unsettling atmosphere of the scene. Despite the figure's disturbing appearance, the deer in the foreground appears calm, as if unaware of or unfazed by the nearby presence. Internet sleuths and paranormal enthusiasts have dissected the image endlessly, attempting to uncover the identity and nature of the Screaming Man. Various theories have emerged, ranging from the scientific to the fantastical, each trying to make sense of the inexplicable figure captured on film. One of the most discussed theories is that the figure could be a skinwalker. In Native American folklore, particularly among the Navajo, a skinwalker is a type of malevolent witch or shaman capable of shapeshifting into animals or taking on human form. Skinwalkers are often associated with dark magic and are considered deeply sinister beings that stalk the night. The theory posits that the Screaming Man could be a skinwalker caught mid-transformation, explaining the human-like but grotesque features and the deer's lack of reaction, as animals are believed to be more attuned and used to supernatural presences. The idea of a skinwalker is both terrifying and intriguing, as these entities are said to have the ability to manipulate their appearance and emit unsettling noises to frighten, lure, and confuse their prey. If the figure in the photograph is indeed a skinwalker, it raises alarming questions about its intentions and the true extent of its abilities. Another theory suggests that the image could depict a torso in the trees, a term used to describe apparitions or mysterious entities that appear partially obscured or incomplete, often blending into their surroundings. These figures are sometimes reported in haunted forests or locations with a history of paranormal activity. The torso in the trees theory suggests that the figure is a ghostly apparition, possibly the spirit of someone who met a tragic end in the woods. This would explain the distorted appearance and the unsettling grin, characteristic of entities seeking to instill fear. Skeptics, however, argue that the image might have a more mundane explanation. Some propose that the figure is merely a trick of the light, a misinterpretation of shadows and natural elements creating the illusion of a humanoid form. Others believe it could be a person or an animal caught in an unusual pose, distorted by the camera's angle and lighting conditions. Yet despite these rational explanations, the photograph has not been definitively debunked, leaving room for ongoing speculation and mystery. Number 10. The Slave Cemetery Ghost. The eerie image of a spectral figure, often dubbed the Slave Cemetery Ghost, has been widely shared across the internet, captivating and baffling viewers. Despite its frequent circulation, the true origin of the photo remains shrouded in mystery. The photograph, which appears to show a ghostly woman standing amidst tombstones in a forgotten graveyard, has spurred countless debates and theories about its authenticity and the identity of the apparition. The enigmatic photo first gained widespread attention on a popular message board dedicated to the paranormal. Users were quick to dissect the image, noting its uncanny resemblance to a human figure and its unsettling presence in an old, overgrown cemetery. One user in particular claimed to have captured a similar figure near a slave cemetery in Jefferson County, Georgia, which only fueled speculation that the two images might depict the same ghostly woman. This user recounted their experience, explaining that they'd set up a trail camera to monitor the area for wildlife. To their shock, the camera captured a misty, ethereal figure standing among the graves. The photograph showed a woman in a flowing gown, her form partially transparent and her features blurred. This image, they believed, was a manifestation of one of the enslaved individuals buried in the cemetery, whose restless spirit lingered in the area. The thread quickly filled with comments from other users, offering their interpretations and sharing similar experiences. Some suggested that the figure was a residual haunting, a type of ghostly presence that replays a specific moment in time, often tied to a traumatic event. This theory posits that the intense emotions and suffering of the enslaved people could have led to a lasting imprint on the environment, causing their spirits to manifest periodically. Others believe the figure to be an intelligent haunting, where the ghost is a conscious entity capable of interacting with the living. They speculated that the woman might be trying to communicate a message or seeking recognition for the hardships she endured in life. This idea was supported, according to its proponents, by the figure's appearance in a historically significant location, suggesting a deliberate choice to manifest there. Skeptics on the message board, however, offered alternative explanations. Some argued that the photo could be a hoax, created using photo editing software to fabricate a ghostly image. Others proposed that natural phenomena, such as mist or light reflections, combined with the camera's infrared capabilities, might have created the illusion of a humanoid figure. Despite these rational explanations, many users remain convinced of the image's authenticity, citing their own unexplained encounters in the area. The photograph's resemblance to other reported sightings of a ghostly woman and a similar image taken near the slave cemetery added to its mystique. Some users noted that the figure's flowing gown and ethereal appearance matched descriptions of other paranormal experiences in the region. This consistency led some to believe that the same spirit had been appearing to different people over time, reinforcing the idea of a haunted cemetery. The local history of the old Carter family cemetery, where the image was believed to have been captured, also contributed to the mystery. The old Carter family cemetery is deeply entwined with the history of local plantations in Jefferson County, Georgia. These plantations, which flourished in the 19th century, were integral to the region's economy, relying heavily on the labor of enslaved African people. The cemetery serves as a final resting place for many of these individuals who lived and worked on nearby plantations, enduring harsh conditions and significant suffering. The lives of those buried in the old Carter family cemetery were marked by relentless toil and hardship. Enslaved people were forced to work long hours in the fields, tending to crops such as cotton and tobacco, which were the primary exports of the region. The brutal reality of plantation life meant that these individuals faced physical exhaustion, inadequate living conditions, and the constant threat of brutal punishment. Plantation records, though often sparse and fragmented, occasionally provide glimpses into the lives of these enslaved individuals. These documents, along with oral histories passed down through generations, highlight the vital yet tragic role they played in sustaining the plantations. The cemetery itself, overgrown and neglected for many years, stands as a somber testament to their contributions and sacrifices. The connection between the cemetery and local plantations is further emphasized by the spatial proximity and family ties of the Carter family, who owned the surrounding land and the enslaved individuals buried there. The Carter family, like many plantation owners of the time, relied on the labor of enslaved people to maintain their wealth and status. The cemetery's location on their property signifies a clear link between the Carter family's legacy and the lives of the enslaved people who supported their plantation. Visiting the old Carter family cemetery today, one can sense the weight of history and the lingering presence of those who once lived and worked on the plantations. The cemetery, with its weathered tombstones and unmarked graves, serves as a stark reminder of the region's past and the enduring impact of slavery on the community. It is a place where the stories of the enslaved are etched into the very soil, offering a silent, poignant tribute to their lives and struggles. Paranormal investigators and historians have since visited the site, conducting various tests and research to uncover more about the haunting. Some have reported capturing EVP, or electronic voice phenomena, recordings and detecting unusual energy patterns, while others have focused on documenting the cemetery's history and the lives of those buried there. Despite extensive investigations and numerous theories, the true nature of the ghostly figure remains unresolved. The image continues to circulate online, continually captivating new audiences and sparking fresh debates. Whether it's a genuine apparition, a trick of the light, or a carefully crafted hoax, the slave cemetery ghost continues to fascinate and remind us of a tragic past. Number 9. The Kneeler. In the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, where legends often blur the line between reality and folklore, a chilling scene captured on a trail camera has left both locals and internet users deeply unsettled. This bizarre and disturbing footage, widely circulated in June 2023, purportedly shows two scantily clad figures, said to be witches, feasting on a deer carcass. The unsettling footage first gained widespread attention after being reported by Fox 4 News. The trail camera, set up by a local resident to monitor wildlife, recorded the eerie sighting of two women, their bodies barely covered by tattered clothing, kneeling over the remains of a deer. The figures appeared to be engaging in a ritualistic act, their movements deliberate and unnervingly synchronized as they tore into the carcass with a primal intensity. This strange occurrence quickly became a viral sensation, with the footage being shared and discussed on various social media platforms and news outlets. A News and Lad Bible were among the media that picked up the story, further fueling the public's fascination and horror. Debates around the authenticity and context of the footage immediately flared in the comments sections. One prevalent theory is that the women captured in the footage are part of a local occult group, performing a ritualistic act that involves consuming the flesh of the deer. The Pacific Northwest, known for its dense forests and remote areas, has a long history with occult practices and folklore, adding a layer of plausibility to this explanation. The deliberate and synchronized manner in which the women move in the footage suggests a practiced ritual, rather than a spontaneous act of scavenging. Another theory is that the footage might be a hoax or a piece of performance art designed to shock and provoke a reaction. The eerie and unsettling nature of the scene, combined with the viral potential of such footage, could point to a deliberate attempt to create a modern-day urban legend. Critics of this theory, however, argue that the raw and unpolished nature of the footage makes it unlikely to be a staged event, though the possibility cannot be entirely ruled out. Skeptics also suggest a more mundane explanation, that the women might be homeless individuals or mentally ill persons engaging in unusual behavior. However, this theory does not account for the ritualistic appearance of the act, nor does it explain the specific choice of location and timing. The trail camera footage has also revived discussions about the role of modern technology in uncovering and disseminating mysterious and potentially supernatural events. The use of trail cameras and other surveillance technologies has made it possible to capture moments that would otherwise go unnoticed, adding to the growing archive of unexplained phenomena available for public scrutiny. Local authorities have reportedly been investigating the area where the footage was captured, but have yet to release any definitive conclusions. The deer carcass, partially consumed, was found in the same location, lending some credence to the authenticity of the footage. However, without further evidence or eyewitness accounts, the identities and intentions of those captured in the footage remain a mystery. Number 8. The Mississippi Clown. In Mississippi's woodlands, a trail camera captured an image that would proliferate wildly across the internet. The photo, depicting a clown standing eerily among the trees, quickly went viral, stirring a mix of curiosity and dread. This unsettling image, taken by an unsuspecting trail camera meant to monitor wildlife, became a catalyst for the resurgence of an old, deep-seated fear of clowns for many. The image shows a clown, garishly dressed in typical circus attire, complete with painted face and wild hair, standing motionless in the dark forest. The juxtaposition of the whimsical, colorful costume against the sinister backdrop of the nighttime woods creates a deeply disturbing effect. The clown appears to be looking directly into the camera, adding an unnerving sense of awareness and intent to the photo. The origins of this image remain murky, with debates raging over whether it was an elaborate prank, a piece of performance art, or a genuine encounter with a person traversing the woods in a clown costume for unknown reasons. While some dismissed the image as a hoax, many found it hard to shake the inherent fear it provoked. Clowns, traditionally associated with joy and entertainment, have long had a darker side in popular culture, often linked to horror and malevolence. The timing of the image's circulation couldn't have been more provocative. In 2016, a wave of clown sightings began to sweep across the globe, creating what became known as the Great Clown Panic. Reports of clowns behaving suspiciously, sometimes aggressively, popped up in numerous countries, leading to widespread public anxiety and even school lockdowns. The phenomenon gained significant media attention, further fueling the hysteria. The clown panic had a volatile mix of fear and contagion, as described by cultural analysts. Social media played a significant role in amplifying these sightings, with people sharing their own encounters or reposting stories, creating a sense of omnipresence and immediacy. The clown sightings often involved individuals lurking near schools, parks, and forests, sometimes wielding weapons or simply standing ominously, much like the figure captured in the Mississippi trail cam photo. Psychologists and sociologists have examined the reasons behind the fear of clowns, or coulrophobia. The exaggerated features of clowns, painted faces, oversized shoes, and brightly colored costumes create a sense of the uncanny, where something familiar becomes unsettling. This effect is compounded when clowns are placed in incongruous settings, such as dark forests or quiet suburban streets, where their presence feels out of place and threatening. The Mississippi clown image tapped directly into this primal fear, its inexplicable presence in the woods suggesting a hidden, sinister intent. The photo's virality, combined with the broader context of the clown panic, led to heightened vigilance and fear in communities already on edge from reports of menacing clowns. Authorities in various regions took the clown sighting seriously, issuing warnings and even making arrests in some cases. The Mississippi trail cam photo, while never definitively proven to be an intentional part of a larger pattern, became emblematic of the broader phenomenon. It symbolized the intersection of folklore, mass hysteria, and the power of the internet to spread fear and influence behavior. Its true context remains unknown, but the impact of the image is undeniable. It emphasizes the power of visual media to evoke deep-seated fears, and the ways in which modern technology can amplify and spread those fears rapidly. Number 7. The Maine trail cam creature. In the dense wooded landscapes of Maine, where the wilderness remains largely untouched and wild, the occasional glimpse of something unexplained can ignite a frenzy of curiosity and speculation. Such was the case in January 2021, when a trail camera in Penobscot County captured an image that would baffle locals and stir the imaginations of many. It began when a Maine resident, eager to observe the local wildlife, set up a trail camera in a remote area of the forest. The camera, placed discreetly to monitor the movements of deer, moose, and other common creatures, did its job quietly for weeks, capturing the usual array of animals that roam the Maine woods. But on one cold winter night, the camera snapped a picture of something far more mysterious. When the resident reviewed the footage, one image stood out starkly from the rest. It showed a creature skulking past the camera, partially obscured by the darkness and the thick underbrush. The figure was large and vaguely humanoid, with an unsettling, shadowy appearance that defied easy identification. The creature's eyes glowed eerily in the camera's infrared light, adding to its otherworldly visage. Perplexed and intrigued, the resident shared the image with friends and family, who were equally mystified. The photograph quickly made its way to social media, where it spread like wildfire. Local news outlets picked up the story, and soon the mysterious creature of Penobscot County became a topic of widespread fascination and debate. On January 19, 2021, the Bangor Daily News published an article featuring the enigmatic trail cam photo. The piece, titled "Creepy Mystery Beast Skulks Past Penobscot County Trail Cam," detailed the residents' discovery and the growing interest in identifying the creature. The image showed a shadowy figure, its form indistinct but undeniably strange, moving through the snowy forest. Theories about the creature's identity abounded. Some speculated that it could be a misidentified known animal, such as a bear or a moose, caught in an unusual pose. Others suggested it might be a person dressed in dark clothing, perhaps a hiker or a hunter, whose appearance was distorted by the camera's angle and the play of light and shadow. However, the more the image circulated, the more outlandish the theories became. Cryptozoologists and paranormal enthusiasts quickly latched onto the story, proposing that the creature could be something far more extraordinary. Some believed it to be a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, legendary beings said to roam the forests of North America, rarely seen but often speculated about. Others suggested it might be a spirit or ghost, haunting the remote woods and captured accidentally by the trail cam. In March 2021, the Bangor Daily News published another article, "Help Identify This Trail Cam Mystery Beast," calling on the public to provide insights or potential identifications. The image's eerie quality continued to baffle experts and laypeople alike. Wildlife biologists examined the photo, but found it difficult to conclusively identify the creature due to the lack of clear distinguishing features. As with many such mysteries, the lack of definitive answers only fueled further speculation. Some locals recounted stories of strange sightings and eerie encounters in the Maine woods, adding layers of folklore to the already mysterious image. The creature became a topic of local legend, with people sharing their own theories and tales of the unknown. Among the possible explanations, one of the most popular was that the creature could indeed be a bear. Maine's forests are home to a significant population of black bears, and during the winter months, a bear might appear more gaunt and odd-looking if it had come out of hibernation early or had struggled to find food. The glowing eyes in the trail cam image could be attributed to the reflective nature of many animals' eyes when illuminated by infrared light. Another plausible theory was that the creature was a moose, distorted by the camera's angle and the surrounding vegetation. Moose are common in Maine, and their long legs and large bodies can sometimes create unusual shapes in photographs, especially in low light conditions. Despite these rational explanations, the allure of the unknown has kept more fantastical theories alive. The idea of the creature being a Bigfoot captured the imagination of many. Reports of Bigfoot sightings have persisted in North American folklore for decades, and the dense forests of Maine seem like the perfect setting for such a creature to exist, hidden from human eyes. There have also been suggestions that the creature could be an escaped exotic animal, or even a previously unknown species. These theories, while less likely, have added to the intrigue and mystery surrounding the photograph. The notion of an undiscovered species roaming the forests of Maine is both thrilling and unsettling, playing into humanity's fascination with the unknown and the uncharted. As the story of the Penobscot County creature continues to circulate, it's become a part of local lore. Residents have shared their thoughts and theories, and the image has been discussed in community gatherings and online forums. The mystery remains unsolved, but has invited endless speculation. In the end, the mysterious creature of the Maine trail cam has become a symbol of the wild and untamed nature of the nation's forests, a reminder that despite all our advances in technology and understanding, there are still secrets hidden in the world around us. Whether the creature is a bear, a moose, a human, or something else entirely, its fleeting appearance on a cold winter night has captured the imaginations of many and is a reminder of the unexplained and the unexpected. Number 6. The Creature in the Cloak. In the dense, mist-covered forests of Powell County, Kentucky, an unsettling legend has taken root, centered around a chilling image captured by an automatic trail camera. This photograph, shared widely on Reddit, depicts a dark, humanoid figure cloaked in a long, flowing robe, standing ominously among the trees. The figure's presence, starkly contrasted against the natural backdrop, has been subject of much online debate, as well as encouraged a deeper dive into local lore and theories about what this entity might be. The image first surfaced on the subreddit r/creepy, where it quickly garnered attention and sparked a wave of comments and theories. According to the post, the trail camera, typically used to monitor wildlife, unexpectedly captured the eerie figure. The figure, draped in a cloak that obscures most of its features, seems almost spectral, emerging from the shadows of the forest. The unsettling nature of the photograph has left many questioning what the cloaked entity could truly represent. One popular theory suggests that the figure could be a member of a cult or secret society. The remote, forested areas of Powell County provide the perfect cover for clandestine activities, and the figure's attire might be indicative of ritualistic or ceremonial practices. This theory gained some traction from the historical context of isolated communities in rural America often harboring secretive groups with esoteric traditions. Another theory is that the figure is a spirit or ghost, perhaps the restless spirit of someone who met a tragic end in these woods. Powell County, with its rich history and numerous old settlements, is no stranger to tales of hauntings and paranormal activity. The figure's ethereal appearance and the timing of its capture, seemingly appearing out of nowhere, add to the plausibility of this supernatural explanation. Skeptics, however, argue that the figure could simply be a prankster or a hiker dressed in unusual clothing, inadvertently captured by the camera. The cloak could be a weather-resistant garment, and the person's pose might have been an accidental result of them pausing or turning. The timing and positioning could be purely coincidental, creating an appearance far more ominous than the reality. The photograph has also drawn comparisons to other mysterious sightings, such as the infamous Slender Man or the Hat Man, figures from modern folklore that embody fear of the unknown. The cloaked figure's ambiguous nature makes it a blank canvas onto which people project their deepest anxieties and fascinations, where the lack of clear information allows for a wide range of interpretations and assumptions. Adding to the intrigue, the original poster of the image on Reddit has remained largely silent, offering little additional context or follow-up. This has only fueled further speculation, as users ponder why more information hasn't been forthcoming. Was the poster too frightened to return to the woods? Did they uncover something they chose to keep secret? Or is it all part of a carefully crafted mystery designed to captivate, terrify, and go viral? Local residents of Powell County have mixed reactions to the photograph. Some embrace the mystery, seeing it as an intriguing addition to the region's folklore. Others express concern, worried about the potential real-world implications of such a figure roaming the woods. The local authorities have not commented extensively on the matter, treating it with the same skepticism they would any other unverified claim. Despite the lack of concrete answers, the image of the cloaked figure continues to fascinate and frighten those who encounter it. It stands as a modern-day ghost story, a digital age equivalent of campfire tales that provoke the imagination and stir up primal fears. Whether a hoax, a misunderstood sighting, or something truly otherworldly, the cloaked figure of Powell County, Kentucky remains a mystery. Number 5. The Deer vs. Demon. The photograph capturing a demon-like figure chasing a deer through the woods has been the subject of fascination and fear across the internet. This trail camera image, which appears to show a winged creature pursuing a terrified deer, has sparked intense debate about its authenticity and the nature of the beast. The eerie snapshot depicts the deer in mid-sprint, its eyes wide with terror, while a shadowy, monstrous figure looms behind, seemingly hot on its trail. The chilling visual evokes images of the supernatural, reminiscent of the mythical Jersey Devil, a creature that has been part of American folklore for centuries. Most viewers are quick to label the image as a hoax or suggest that it captures a natural predator, like a cougar, from a strange angle. The blurred, indistinct form of the creature allows for a wide range of interpretations, but the sense of dread it instills is universal. The possibility that this photograph might be evidence of something otherworldly adds an extra layer of intrigue. Supporters of the Jersey Devil theory point to the creature's winged appearance and elongated limbs, which align with traditional descriptions and illustrations of the cryptid said to inhabit the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. The Jersey Devil legend dates back to the early 18th century, with tales of a fearsome beast born to a Quaker family, cursed to haunt the forests. Descriptions of the creature vary, but it's often depicted as having wings, hooves, and a terrifying screech. The creature in the trail cam photo bears a striking resemblance to this folklore, adding credibility to the claims of those who believe in its existence. However, without more definitive evidence, the true nature of the figure remains a mystery. Beyond the unsettling image, the presence of the deer itself holds significant mythological and cultural weight. Deer have long been symbols in various mythologies and folklore, often representing gentleness, innocence, and connection to nature. In many Native American traditions, deer are seen as messengers, guiding individuals through their spiritual journeys. In Celtic mythology, the deer is a symbol of the forest and the natural world, often associated with deities and the mystical forces of the woods. The deer's role in this photograph as a creature fleeing from a demonic pursuer can be seen as a dramatic inversion of its usual symbolic representation. Instead of being a peaceful guide or a serene inhabitant of the forest, the deer is cast as a victim, highlighting the fear and chaos introduced by the monstrous figure. This juxtaposition intensifies the impact of the image, making it not just a snapshot of potential cryptid activity, but a visual narrative steeped in symbolic meaning. In Greek mythology, the deer is sacred to Artemis, the goddess of the hunt in the wilderness. Artemis's deer were seen as untouchable, protected by the divine power of the goddess herself. The image of a deer being hunted by a demonic figure can be seen as a violation of this sacred protection, adding a layer of sacrilege to the already disturbing scene. While many believe the image is a product of modern digital manipulation, the emotional response it provokes is real. It taps into deep-seated fears of the unknown and the supernatural, reminding us of the stories and legends that have been passed down through generations. Whether the creature is a genuine cryptid, a cleverly staged hoax, or a misidentified predator, the photograph serves as a powerful reminder of the mysteries that still captivate the human imagination. For now, the demon chasing the deer remains a hotly contested image that fuels both skepticism and belief. It captures a moment of primal fear that resonates on a deeply instinctual level, resonating with global folklore and myth. As with many such mysteries, the truth may remain elusive, but the fascination it inspires is undeniable. Number 4. The Rake Creature. In the eerie world of American cryptids, few creatures are as mysterious or as terrifying as the Rake. This malevolent entity, described as a gaunt, pale humanoid with elongated limbs and sharp claws, has been the subject of numerous tales and purported sightings. The legend of the rake supposedly dates back to the 1600s, when a mariner reportedly fled back across the ocean to escape the creature's clutches. Over the centuries, stories of the rake have persisted, often shared in hushed whispers around campfires or on internet forums dedicated to the paranormal. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for the existence of the rake is a chilling photograph allegedly captured by a trail camera in a destroyed hunting camp. The image, which is circulated widely on the internet, depicts a creature with a disturbingly gaunt frame, crouched low to the ground, its eyes glinting ominously in the camera's flash. The photo shows the creature seemingly caught off guard, adding an element of eeriness to the already unsettling scene. The trail camera photo has been the subject of online debate for years. Some believers argue that the creature in the image matches descriptions of the rake from various eyewitness accounts. They point to the creature's emaciated body, long limbs, large eyes, and unsettling demeanor as proof that this could indeed be the cryptid of legend. The fact that the photo was allegedly found in a destroyed hunting camp only adds to the intrigue, suggesting that the rake could be responsible for the damage. However, the origins of the photograph remain murky, leaving room for doubt. Skeptics argue that the image could easily be a hoax, created using photo editing software to fabricate a spooky scene. The grainy quality of the photo and the lack of corroborating evidence make it difficult to verify its authenticity. Moreover, some suggest that the creature could be a person in a costume, or even an animal caught at an odd angle, its appearance distorted by the camera's flash and the surrounding darkness. The story of the rake gained significant attention through its portrayal in various online forums and media. The rake's notoriety was cemented by creepypasta stories, which are horror-related legends shared on the internet. These stories often depict the rake as a terrifying entity that stalks its victims and causes intense fear and physical harm. One of the most famous creepypasta accounts describes the rake visiting a family in the dead of night, leading to a series of horrific events that culminate in tragedy. The rake, as a piece of modern folklore, embodies the fears and anxieties that lurk in the dark corners of our imagination. Whether the trail camera photo is genuine or a clever fabrication, it serves to perpetuate the legend and ensure that it lives on. The creature's enduring presence in popular culture, fueled by chilling images and spine-tingling tales, is cemented by the image that purports to depict it. As with many cryptid legends, the true nature of the rake remains unknown and unclear. For now, the rake remains a haunting figment, confined to the shadows. Number 3. The Bowman. In the realm of internet mysteries and unsettling imagery, one particular photo has been a source of fascination and unease for many. A strange, almost surreal image featuring a peculiar figure standing amidst a forested backdrop. The image was supposedly caught on an unknown trail cam in October 2011 and presents a figure that seems to be a man, but his posture and appearance are anything but ordinary. The figure appears to be dressed in dark clothing, standing in an almost statuesque pose. The backdrop of dense, shadowy trees adds to the eerie atmosphere, making the figure's appearance even more striking. His face is obscured, and he appears to be aiming a weapon towards the camera, contributing to the overall sense of mystery and discomfort that the image evokes. What makes this image particularly intriguing is the complete lack of context surrounding it. There are no details about who took the photograph, when it was taken, or where it might have been captured. This absence of information has left viewers to speculate wildly about the nature of the figure and the circumstances of the photograph. Online forums and discussion boards have been filled with theories and speculations about the photograph for years. Some suggest that the figure could be a forest ranger or a hiker who was caught in an unusual pose, perhaps mid-step or while resting. Others lean towards more supernatural explanations, proposing that the figure could be a ghost or an apparition, its form captured unexpectedly by the camera. There is also a faction that believes the image might be a cleverly staged prank or an art piece designed to provoke and unsettle. The eerie, almost otherworldly appearance of the figure lends itself well to such interpretations. The possibility that the image is digitally altered to create a more haunting effect has also been suggested. Despite the myriad of theories, the true nature of the figure and the origins of the photograph remain unknown. The image has not been definitively debunked or explained, leaving it as another enduring mystery in the digital age. Number 2. The Witch in the Woods. In the eerie quiet of the woods, where shadows stretch long and the silence is profound, one mysterious trail camera capture has mystified observers. Known as the photobombing witch mystery, this unsettling photograph first surfaced in an online forum, quickly gaining viral attention for its chilling content. The image, reportedly taken by a trail camera set up to monitor wildlife, shows a dark, forested area typical of such settings. However, what sets this photo apart from most trail camera footage is the presence of a disturbing figure. In the background, partially obscured by the trees, is a ghostly shape that appears to be female, and that many claim is a witch. The figure is dressed in what seems to be tattered, old-fashioned clothing, and her face is obscured by shadows, adding to the eerie nature of the overall scene. The origin of this photo traces back to a 2013 post on the Go Dubois forum, where a user shared the image, taken a few months before, with the community, seeking explanations for the strange sight. The post quickly attracted comments and theories from other users, ranging from the supernatural to more mundane explanations. Some speculated that the figure was a ghost, perhaps the restless spirit of someone who had met a tragic end in the woods. Others suggested it might be a person playing a prank, or someone who had wandered into the camera's view by accident. Despite the various theories, none have conclusively explained the figure's presence. The dark, blurry quality of the image makes it difficult to determine any concrete details about the figure or its origin. The lack of additional context or follow-up images has only deepened the mystery, leaving viewers to speculate based on the limited information available. Theories about the photobombing witch vary widely. Some believe it to be an elaborate hoax, possibly created using photo editing software to generate a viral sensation. Others consider it a genuine paranormal encounter, pointing to the surreal, witch-like appearance of the figure as evidence of something otherworldly. Another plausible theory for this unsolved mystery is that it was simply a person, perhaps a hiker, a homeless individual, or someone lost in the woods, inadvertently captured by the camera. Number 1. Anson County Jane Doe. In the quiet expanse of Anson County, North Carolina, a mystery began to unfold in 2021, which has left the community searching for answers. On an otherwise ordinary day in May 2022, the Anson County Sheriff's Office received a call after a land survey led to the discovery of a woman's skeletal remains. The woman, later referred to as Jane Doe, had no identification on her and was found wearing a black Secret Treasures bra, size 34C, and leggings. Initial attempts to identify her through fingerprints and missing persons databases yielded no results. The Anson County Sheriff's Office released a statement following the discovery, providing a description of the woman and appealing to the public for any information that could lead to her identification. Jane Doe was described as a middle-aged woman with brown hair and blue eyes, wearing casual clothing that provided no clues to her identity. The community was urged to come forward with any tips, no matter how insignificant they might seem. As days turned into weeks, the case of Jane Doe continued to baffle investigators. Numerous theories emerged, ranging from the possibility of her being a victim of a crime to suffering a medical condition that had ultimately left her incapacitated. The lack of any identifying marks, personal belongings, or witnesses added layers of complexity to the investigation. The local media played a crucial role in keeping Jane Doe's story alive, with regular updates and appeals for information. Articles published in the Anson Record and other local outlets detailed the ongoing efforts of the Sheriff's Office and the community's response. Despite these efforts, leads remained scarce, and Jane Doe's identity continued to elude investigators. The trail camera footage that surfaced, recorded 6 months before the skeletal remains were discovered, provided a haunting glimpse into the final days of the woman now referred to as Anson County Jane Doe. The footage, captured in a dense wooded area, shows a lone figure moving slowly through the trees. She appeared disoriented and vulnerable, her clothing ragged and ill-fitting, clothing which matches the description of the black Secret Treasures bra and leggings found with Jane Doe's remains. The eerie silence of the forest is palpable, and the brief, grainy clips show her looking around, possibly for help or shelter, adding a tragic poignancy to her last recorded moments. The footage, though brief and indistinct, has been crucial in piecing together the timeline leading up to her death, and has prompted authorities to appeal for any information that could shed light on her identity and what led her to that desolate place. In a detailed statement released by the Anson County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Landrick Reed emphasized the commitment of his team to solving the case. "We are exploring every possible avenue to identify this woman and understand the circumstances that led to her being found in such a vulnerable state," he said. "We urge anyone with information to come forward and help us bring closure to this case." The statement also highlighted the collaborative efforts with state and federal agencies, including the FBI, to cross-reference Jane Doe's fingerprints and DNA with national databases. There are several individuals who have been examined for possible connections to this enigmatic case, each with their own tragic and unresolved disappearance. Amber Ray Johnston was reported missing from Arizona. She disappeared under mysterious circumstances, leaving behind few clues. Her case has stumped investigators, as Amber vanished without a trace, leaving her family and friends desperate for answers. Despite extensive searches and investigations, her whereabouts remain unknown. Heather Lynn Tift went missing under unclear circumstances. Her disappearance, marked by a lack of evidence and few, if any, leads, has been a challenging case for law enforcement. Heather's family has tirelessly sought information, but her case remains open, with investigators continuously seeking new avenues to explore. April Michelle Reed is another missing person whose disappearance has drawn considerable attention. April vanished without a trace, and despite numerous efforts to locate her, no significant breakthroughs have been made. Her case remains one of the many unresolved mysteries that haunt families and communities across the country. Jessica Nicole Stacks disappeared while on a river trip in Mississippi. Her case is particularly troubling due to the suddenness of her disappearance and the lack of evidence pointing to her whereabouts. Despite thorough searches of the river and surrounding areas, Jessica has not been found, and her family continues to search for answers. Caitlin Aubrey Ledbetter's disappearance is another tragic mystery. Vanishing under circumstances that remain unclear, Caitlin's case has stumped investigators. Her family has been left in anguish, hoping for any information that could shed light on what happened to her. Crystal N. Pascual Sandoval went missing without leaving any substantial leads. The circumstances of her disappearance are murky, making it difficult for investigators to piece together what happened. Crystal's case, like many others, is painful for family and friends, and one of many unsolved disappearances of young women across the country. Dana Joyner's case also remains unsolved. Dana vanished without any clear explanation, and despite ongoing investigations, her whereabouts are still unknown. Her family continues to hold out hope for her return, but the lack of information has made the search incredibly challenging. The continued efforts to identify Jane Doe underscore the challenges and complexities involved in missing persons cases. It is unclear which, if any, of the known missing persons Jane Doe might be. The intertwining of these individual stories with Jane Doe's case highlights the vast network of unresolved disappearances and the relentless pursuit of justice and closure for the families affected. Each potential match represents not only a possibility for identification, but also a beacon of hope for families awaiting answers, no matter how distant they may seem, and how tragic the ultimate results. The mystery of Anson County's Jane Doe has not only perplexed law enforcement, but also struck a chord with the local community. After her discovery, vigils were held, and social media was flooded with posts urging people to share Jane Doe's story in hopes of reaching someone who might recognize her. The collective hope remains that somewhere, someone knows something that could break the case wide open.